Hello, today we're reviewing the Bose Soundlink Mini speaker, and this is a portable wireless speaker that you basically can hook up to any Bluetooth device, and you can use this. It has some pretty nice sound. So what I'm basically going to go over is just comparing like the overall feel, sound quality tests, things like that, basically to give you an overall feel of this. And this is the first model, but this has come down significantly in price, and it's actually pretty cheap compared to what it used to be for the quality and sound. So basically I want to come back and revisit this as it's a good kind of piece of technology to have, especially just because of the sound quality and like the loudness that it has. So without further ado, let's get into the overall look of just these various parts. So first off, let's just take a look at everything that we're starting off with here. We have a nice speaker, which as you can see, it's a solid, I guess, aluminum kind of design. It's a solid case, and it's actually, like, feels pretty nice. Like, don't get me wrong, this feels really good. This, on the other hand, this is the charging platform. It does feel like a little bit cheaper, I would say, but this is not what you're really going to be carrying around or feeling. And then the charging cable is pretty solid, I guess sturdy as well. I wouldn't say anything past that. So one of the biggest features I like about this is just the charging platform. As you can see, you basically plug into the side here, which you have a nice little plug-in spot here, and you can charge directly from the platform. So basically you can just have this by your phone or whatever, and you put that down, you can just pop the speaker on there. There's basically available charging options down here that just sit right on top, and you just sit on top there and you don't have any problems. So I've personally used this for actually a good maybe a couple months now, and I really like how it just sounds and how it feels. But one of the best features I like about it is that it's got an aux feature right here. Basically you can plug in any device you want, and then it also has an additional charging cable in case, or cable location in case you ever lose this platform right here. So there's also a micro USB in case you ever want to charge it that way. It doesn't come with any of those cables or anything like that. The only cable it does come with is this one right here, which, as you can see, is just, I think, a 5-volt or something along those lines that plugs in pretty much easily. So as you can see, it can go into any one of the options for charging. You can charge it directly into the speaker, or you can charge it directly from the platform. And I like the platform option just because the battery lasts like a really long time, and I don't really ever need to directly charge it. So pretty much the setup is pretty easy. You have a bunch of options on the top here. Let me switch it around so you guys can actually see it a little bit better. So you got a bunch of options. You got the power, mute, and then on and off, or up and down volumes, and then the Bluetooth Connect, which actually is a lot better than most Bluetooth devices nowadays. A lot of the Bluetooth devices, like, it won't connect, or when you turn both on, has a hard time. This finds it pretty much almost instantly, so I like that. And of course, it's got the aux option in case you want to enable that. So let's get into the sound test of this. Overall, I just like the general feel of this one. It's pretty sturdy and pretty heavy. It feels pretty high quality, especially now. This is almost around $100, which I know that's still a lot of money, but the quality on this is pretty dang impressive. So of course you can find some of these for cheaper, like $50, somewhere around there. So let's get into the sound test and let's get started. Okay, so welcome to the sound test. So basically what we're going to do today is, this is going to be an overall kind of sound feel for the volume, quality, things like that. Now, quality is a little difficult to do on here because whatever comes out of this then has to be picked up again by my microphone, then encoded into the camera, and then of course sent back into whatever compression I do to upload the video to YouTube, and whatever compression YouTube decides to do it. So this is not something that you should be judging the sound quality off of, because there's simply no really good way to do it except going in person and finding one of these and listening to that. And you'll have to take my word in the sense that this is by far one of the best sounding Bluetooth speakers I've ever had. I've actually had a bunch of different other ones. I've had some really expensive ones, but this is by far the best sounding one, and it's really crisp and clear. But you'll have to take my word from that, and just simply, that's the best I can tell you. So first off, just a quick note though about that sound quality is the front right here produces the highest, crispness, sound, and the back off here, of course, probably is the subwoofer that does the more deeper sounds. So if you're keeping that in mind, this really works. This side really works up against the wall, and this side is great because that enhances the sound of it. But let's get into the sound, volume test, which basically how loud this thing can get. So before we get into that, I want to make a quick note. Number one, this is me standing in front of the microphone. It's about maybe a meter away. And I want to just step outside the microphone real quick, just to give you guys an accurate, how much of a difference that makes. So this microphone is aimed probably about a foot away from the actual sound. So I'll just step out of that range. And so this is about as far as the microphone would be aimed away from the speaker itself. So just notice that sound difference real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this sound, and we're going to start turning up the volume to about halfway on a regular iPhone. So this is basically set up max volume right here, and I'm just going to continue talking so you can compare that to what I sound like, just me regularly talking, and of course just turn up the volume. So pretty much this is what would happen if I were to turn up this volume to about halfway. So I want to take a moment just to realize that that's clearly much louder than I am, and that's at half of the iPhone volume. So if you were to max out both things, I doubt you would even be able to hear my voice at all. So my point being is this probably can be heard for, I'd say, maybe probably about 30 or so meters around at decent volume, so you can understand pretty much everything. So this is pretty much equivalent to a pretty nice car sound system if you were to have it at a pretty decent volume. So I would just say that that's my personal recommendation, is that this sounds very crisp, and of course at that volume it still sounds crisp, and of course this thing is vibrating pretty crazy when that does happen. But I will say though that this is just overall much higher quality sound speaker, especially since the price of this is dropping. I definitely recommend it if you have not gone out and at least considered buying one of these. And I've actually gotten this one used, which is why I obviously would not be paying a full sum of money for what they actually cost for these things. So I'd recommend, if you're looking into a speaker and a sound quality is a big concern for you, or maybe just the sound volume on the other hand, this does a lot of it. The charge, honestly, I have actually never had this thing run out of charge. Yes, I charge it probably once, maybe a week or so, but I have never actually had this thing run out of charge on me. So obviously the battery does run out eventually, and I would probably say I don't particularly use this on long periods of time, anything more over than 3 hours or so, and this is used. So I'm just saying right now that this overall, the battery lasts a while, and of course this thing has some pretty insane sound. So I hope you enjoyed today's review. If you did, of course, give it a thumbs up, and of course thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.